Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is meeting with his security cabinet today to discuss phase 2 of the ceasefire deal in Gaza. This comes after Netanyahu met with the president's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, to, quote, speed up the process. Foreign correspondent Marcus Moore joins me live from Tel Aviv, Israel. Marcus, what's the latest on these talks between Netanyahu and his cabinet?
Well, Diane, he's expected to meet with his cabinet later on this evening to, as you said, discuss the current situation in Gaza, including the ceasefire and their strategy there in Gaza as this continues to develop. But another key element that we should be paying attention to is the north. There's a deadline tomorrow that is set for Israel to withdraw from southern Lebanon. And it would appear at this point that Israel intends to stay at 5 key locations in southern Lebanon. They call them temporary outposts or temporary locations to ensure that Hezbollah cannot continue to threaten Israeli citizens in the north. And so this is certainly something that the Lebanese and Hezbollah in particular are against. If you'll recall, over the weekend, Hezbollah's leader Naim Qassem came out during a speech and said that Israel needs to leave by the deadline, which is tomorrow, February 18th, or else there will be consequences. So we'll have to watch very closely what happens there, Diane, but certainly a lot of moving parts, not only in Gaza, but across the region, including northern Israel and southern Lebanon.
Marcus, Netanyahu also met with Secretary of State Marco Rubio over the weekend in Israel. What came out of that meeting?
Well, this was a meeting that was highly anticipated. This was Secretary Rubio's very first visit to the Middle East since becoming the nation's top diplomat. And really, he came with a message of full support for Israel, reaffirming U.S. support for Israel in whatever decisions they make, not only in Gaza, but across the region, including their war goal of eliminating Hamas. Secretary Rubio saying that there can be no peace as long as Hamas is allowed to continue to govern in Gaza, as well as have a military presence there. And that was really one of the main highlights we heard from that meeting, as well as other issues, including Iran and Syria.
Now, large demonstrations happening in Tel Aviv today to mark 500 days since the October 7th terrorist attack on Israel. What can we expect there, Marcus?
Well, Diana, I think we can expect another emotional evening and certainly one of determination. Almost daily since October 7th, the family members of those who were taken hostage have taken to the streets of Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and other cities demanding that their loved ones be brought back. And so we anticipate that we will see more of that tonight, including hearing from the relatives of some of the hostages still being held captive. And as I talk to you now, people here in Israel are just learning new details from some of those who were released over the weekend, including the American hostage, 36-year-old Sagi Dekel-Hin, who described fearing for his life every day, according to his father, who did an interview with Israeli television or Israeli media. He said that his son was kept in the tunnels most of the time and never saw the daylight until he was released over the weekend, Diane.
Foreign correspondent Marcus Moore, thank you.